Beloved, this past month we buried two family members. This reality forces one to confront one's own mortal nature and the question, what is the meaning of life? This deep question has captivated humanity across cultures, religions, and philosophy, inviting reflection from not only scholars and mystics, but all people alike. What does it mean to live and find purpose in this vast creation? I contend that life's meaning lies in both seeking and reflecting God's truth, beauty, and goodness. My reflections, which follow, are not meant as an exhaustive exploration of these ideas or to offer definitive answers. Rather, I wish to share my recent reflections on these timeless questions. First, I am of the view that life must be understood backward, but lived forward. In other words, it requires both reflection and action. Looking backward, we trace the threads of meaning in our lives, our relationships, our struggles, our triumphs, and the quiet moments of grace. Yet life does not permit us to remain in this mode of self reflection. Each day propels us forward into the unknown, and this demands mindfulness, courage, faith, and hope. Second, life must be lived responsibly, and our choices matter. They are consequential. We are free agents, empowered with the ability to choose how we live. However, we do not live in a void. Therefore, we should not abuse this freedom and be selfish. Rather, this freedom of choice is tied to responsibility, which gives life meaning and anchors us in community. As the African aphorism goes, umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. A person is a person through other people, or as the 17th century poet and cleric John Donne said, no man is an island. To illustrate this point, Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl, in his seminal book, Man's Search for Meaning, wrote, we who lived in concentration camps can remember the men who walked through the huts comforting others, giving away their last piece of bread. They may have been few in number, but they offer sufficient proof that everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Third, life is fleeting and must be lived with love. Solomon in Ecclesiastes laments, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Here, vanity refers to the Old English word for emptiness or futility, as in utter futility, all is futile. In Hebrew, this portion of scripture reads as Hevel Havalim Hakol Hevel, highlighting the transient nature of life. This lamentation about the emptiness of life, that life is like a breath of air, is in fact an invitation to root our purpose in the love of God, the real and eternal source of meaning. Yeshua declared the greatest commandment: love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. This is foundational because without great love, our striving is like chasing the wind. In conclusion, each of our journeys involve navigating tensions between self and other, the eternal and the temporal. True meaning arises not from reason alone, but through surrender to a transcendent God, who is the highest good, or as we say in Latin, the summum bonum, and purposeful acts of faith and love. With choice comes a sacred responsibility, one that grants us freedom and hope in an eternal God who loves us. Ask yourself, where am I finding meaning? Am I choosing faith, love, and hope over despair? Meaning manifests in living authentically, loving deeply, and fervently seeking God. As we seek Him, our lives must embody His truth, beauty, and goodness, reflecting the character of God, the Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, here on earth. Stay blessed. Shabbat Shalom.